All right, hey guys, Vincent Nguyen here for Tip Line. Let's see here. Let me just get set up real quick here, guys. Hold on just a second, please. Where's my live? Okay, all right, guys. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess what? AMC popped to $9 and went to a high of, let's switch over to the chart. Went to a high of, let's see, $9.32. Today is the battle of 901. AMC needs to close above $9.01 today. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure we are up and running. Okay, give me just a second, guys. Are we up and running? Yep, we are. Let's see, $9.30. All right, all right. So what is next? What is next for AMC? Give me just a second to share this because I want to jump on really quickly to discuss this. Um, okay, I want to stick around for a little bit, so no worries about me taking off on you. Okay, so my thinking is let's go through the day chart. I called AMC out on whatever day it was. I was looking at it on the 3rd of October where price was looking at like around, it was breaking up and down like this whole trending between, I started calling AMC out a while back, but I really got serious when price started to converge with the 3, the 8, and the 20 moving averages. And so on the 4th was really the first big day that showed sign that AMC was going to move. So I made that video. Make sure you check it out. Before I proceed, I just want to make sure you guys know that I am not a financial advisor, nor am I giving you financial advice, just reading the chart and interpreting what I see. Okay, that being said, let's get back. Okay, so today there has been 23.2 million shares traded. That's a really good sign. Price is well above the 3, well above the 8 moving averages, and it's starting to levitate above the 20 moving average. And for once, the light is green, and I'm happy to see that it is green. Yes, I've lost a few more panels in the back here. As you can see, I can't keep them up. They won't stay up. Anyways, 4-hour chart. So what does the oscillator say? It says that AMC is currently nearly oversold on this modified version of RSI. But the harmonic, since there's really, there isn't an active harmonic pattern at play for AMC. I'm really not looking at it from that regard. Hey, hello, Joe, Nim. Hey, guys. I just saw you commented. Let me know if there are any other tickets. This isn't just about AMC, okay? Anything else you want to look at to close out the day. But I'm just really happy. I made the call on AMC, came through for everyone. I think 901 is the battleground because AMC needs to close above $9 today for the possibility of gamma squeeze. But I might throw monkey wrench in that whole theory that AMC is gonna gamma squeeze. I'll get to that in just a second. So yeah, so we've got this like a sandwich, if you will, between this spinning top, a little bit doji spinning top. Remember my rule with dojis is that if price opened up above the doji and continue to trade upwards, that tells me that the trend is starting to reverse. So if you had bought, even if you were swing trading AMC and you bought in when I made the call out at like 790, holy smokes! Congratulations, you made 17.56%. 17.56%. That would have been your gain in 2 days. but I think there's gonna be more. Unfortunately, there might be a little bit of retracement. People like right now, 903. It's coming down quite hard. Like I said, today is the battleground for 901. Bears, market makers, hedge funds, they're not going to want AMC to close above 901. So watch for that battle today. I'm seeing on the 4 hour chart. The reason the reason I'm excited about AMC right now is on the 4 hour chart, it is only moving from leg 2 to 3. There will be a small retracement. I'm thinking maybe. Hang on a second, guys. Let me see. I'm thinking a retracement of a 382 is very bullish. So I'm thinking like 871 retracement to come down. They could bring it down to like 850 right here. So 850 would then put AMC, let's extrapolate here. Let's say we went from 8, say we went from 870 up to, I'm not up far enough. I believe if this was gonna run from like 4 to 5, I want to say it could potentially meet up somewhere up here, like a 1 or 2x to. Yeah, I'm very optimistic that once the retracement takes place, it's always going to retrace. Stocks aren't going to run forever. As you can see here, leg 3 is already very much, pretty much almost confirmed on the 4 hour chart here, leg 2 to 3. Okay, so count with me here: 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5 is next, and it's up here somewhere, possibly next week. So, I mean, if I had to spitball this, I want to say $10.09 at some point. $10.09. Can you can you do a quick TA on GNS and BTTR? Why did GNS pop today and will BTR require traction? Regain traction. Okay. Yeah, I can. All right, I can. Let me finish AMC real quick. Going back to the 1 day chart, I'm ranting. Yeah, there's obviously going to always be a little bit of retracement, and I would love to see nothing more than Monday to have a very small inside day bar retracement. Oh my gosh, how amazing would this be, guys, if AMC printed this um inside day bar, and then basically come Tuesday we get this up to the next price target at $10. I mean, that to me would be pretty ideal on Tuesday to see this scenario play out, and then that would pretty much, if this happened, if this inside bar broke out, I mean, if this inside bar formed on Monday right above, I want to say above the 30% retracement, like 382, like we looked at on the 4 hour chart, then yeah, I mean, holy cow, I'm ecstatic for this, for all you AMC investors out there to basically climb back out, because what happens is if this occurred, you'll have a breakout, and then we've seen this time and time, 3 bar breakout, right? 3 white soldiers, bam, 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 next week. Okay, and then what that would do is I would ideally love to see AMC get up to this consolidation period before the 40 million shares offering, this drop right here. Okay, so I want to see AMC by next week, no later than Thursday or Friday-ish, to nail the 13 range. That would be amazing to see happen. And then from there, um, it'll probably consolidate within this range for a few days, week, then come back down. Remember, we still have this whole gap to fill right here. This gap needs to get filled up right here too. So that's what we are looking at, and then eventually create a nice cup and handle formation. Okay, up to the 50 SMA, which is the blue line, up to the 200, come back down probably here somewhere, create the handle, and then come back up, and then my of price target one of 38.34. That is what we'll probably end up seeing right there, the cup and handle formation. Okay, this information isn't new. This information isn't new. I've TA'd AMC before, and I've talked about the same pattern. It's just taking time for the algos to flip over. And I believe that it's almost there to where we will see this formation take place. All right, so remember 901 is the battleground. The HSI, the harmonic strength index indicator down here is awesome, guys. It's completely out of the oversold. This is really good. Remember when I said there's a W formation in the oversold, which is this formation here, this W, it's going to take longer for the stock to pop out and then continue upwards. But now that AMC consolidated for over a month, it's above the 50 on the HSI harmonic strength index indicator. I believe that it's extremely bullish now. If it does not retrace so far enough that it goes below the 50, and then guess what? We'll just fall back down again. Okay? Keep an eye on this. This is exciting. If you're looking at swing trading AMC, this could be the time. And again, not financial advice, just reading the TA. Okay, I'm moving on to Niam's request, GNS. I don't know why GNS popped today. It popped, 15 cents. Nice, 17%. Okay, GNS. Well, I did have the arrow pointed out for GNS. I don't know what happened, Niam, on GNS. I don't care. But from a TA perspective, I'll explain why I think it popped. Let me drink. It's like every time I drink coffee or a pop, I need to chase it with water because obviously I have braces now and it hurts like a mother. Okay. GNS is very similar to Dan. We did FNGR earlier already. But yeah, sure, I'll go over it again. Okay, so GNS. Look at AMC here, right? AMC, I explained back here, if you watch my AMC TA, when the price started to hover above the 8 EMA, which is this green line, and it closes above it and it touches the 20, it creates sort of a dynamic environment for price to explode upward. Okay, that's where you see everything converge together. And the only way up, and the only way to go is up if it's already in the extremely oversold area. And that was what happened with AMC. GNS, very similar. Okay, very similar scenario. Here is anything down in this area for these indicators tells me that there's a lot of shares that were oversold. So if I was looking at this, we have been. Price originally tried to close above the 8 EMA on the 4th. It did yesterday on the 5th, and today's the 6th. Now look at what happens as price got closer to the 20. The 20, remember when price moves towards or away from a moving average, they act as magnets. So it might the moving average act as magnets. They may repel the price or they may magnetize the price up. So if you're in the oversold area and there is a moving average above you and price has already moved up above 3 and 8, guess what? Your next target is the 20 moving average. And that's exactly what happened here from a TA perspective. That that price essentially got sucked up above the 20, and look what's above the 20, the 50. So GNS today is extremely bullish in a sense that it took its time. It didn't just in one go gapped up like some other stocks that we looked at today. I believe it was let me find it real quick. Or something, or whichever one it was, it gapped up. So there was no foundation, nor was there time to consolidate to create a support level. Whereas GNS has had this solid foundation of support level. Okay. So it gives me great confidence that once price breaks above these moving averages, it needs to come back down to test. So the next test would be, let's say, 3 bar breakout, day 1, 2, and 3. It may come back down and retest the 20, which is at like 94 cents. But then if it doesn't break through and the bulls step in, you know what? It could break above the 50 again and continue to trade upwards. And that is exactly what took place on AMC, right? It's the same concept, guys. That if you start seeing one ticker move, check the other ticker, because chances are they're all lumped into a bucket where the algorithm will basically trade off and they flip on or off. Chances are AMC and GNS are on the same algo. They look exactly the same. Nim, I really hope that was a good explanation as to why, from a TA perspective, why GNS ran today. I don't know. I mean, from a fundamental perspective, I can check and see what happened. September 25th. Yeah, there's no news. So there's no news on GNS. So I don't know why fundamentally it ran, but I can tell you from a TA perspective why it ran. Now look at the 4 hour chart. Look what happened. You see how I mean, I drew this arrow right here without even seeing a resistance level on the 4 hour chart. Because right here it's a 50. Now if I went to the 4 hour chart, look what's here. On the 4 hour chart, it's butting up against the 200 SMA on the 4 hour chart. 200 is an extremely powerful support, but when you're moving up towards it, it's gonna act as a repellent against price. So think of living in Phoenix and it's 120 degrees outside, and you're in a one engine prop plane and you're trying to break above all this high pressure, and then you're not going to be able to break above it, right? So then what's going to happen? They're going to ground you. Or if you're coming down on a one engine plane and it's 120 degrees outside, heat rises, what's going to happen is as you land, you can't, because the pressure is too heavy and it's going to keep pushing you up. So as you look at price relative to moving averages, think of those two examples. Think of how what happens, right? There's a lot of turbulence. You're going to go up and down. That is exactly what is happening to the price in the stock market. And so right now on the 4 hour chart, I see that the next 4 hours. Sorry, guys. God, this braces is hurting. Um, yeah, so normally if I was recording a video, I would cut this out, but since we're live, I can't. Um, on the 4 hour chart, buying pressure is slowing down because it's now at like 58%, 1,000 shares, and there's another 2 hours and 23 minutes left. The previous 4 hours had 427,000 shares. That's not a lot for a sub-dollar stock. I mean, I want to see more volume. I'm not comfortable with the level of volume that it has, unlike if you were to look at AMC for the dollar versus shares. I mean, look, guys, the first 4 hour had 16 million shares. The second 4 hour has already 7.8 million shares. So something is definitely happening with AMC. Okay, that's GNS. What was the other one? NVOS. Okay, that's still on our chart. Yeah. So we charted NVOS. I remember stating that as we were moving up this trend here, I remember, yeah, drawing this out. So remember, guys, none of my TA, I usually don't delete the chart. Like, I don't delete the lines or anything, so that as we go back and look at the chart, it helps us to understand what happens. Okay, so I'm going to explain what happened with NVOS. It's the same BS that happened to FNGR. And yeah, Dan, I know you were waiting for FNGR, so just hold your horses. We'll get there. But let's just look at NVOS. Okay, NVOS, same crap. I mean, when you got to pump, hang on, I got a drink. So when you've got to pump this high up, you're gonna get a dump. There's no way. There's no way around it. You're gonna get a dump, and this dump mirrors what happened with Finger. Right? It literally went up, 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 and then bam, in one day it dumped. That's exactly what's happening in NVOS. Why? Because of the market structure, guys. The market structure. You cannot get away from market structure. The waves exist for a reason. That's why I drew this massive arrow down to the 8, because once it hits the 8 and then it continues to break down, you're going to have a rapid breakdown. But that being said, look at where the support is. If I was a betting man or a betting person, I would say that the 50 would be the next support level. And look what happened. The 50 caught the drop, caught the knife, and then buying pressure came in and pushed it up. Why? Because there's a ton of support at this price range. Always look at the price range. So that's why NVOS caught the price where it is today, right now at 34 cents. Now, does that mean that this support's going to hold? Absolutely not. Again, not a financial advisor, nor am I giving you financial advice. I'm reading the chart. What happens now is basically with Finger, it had an extremely strong retracement up. So the top of my projection for Finger, based on my price modeling, is I believe there was a level at let's see here. Hold on. 692. There's a level at 692 resistance that I'll get back to. Whereas with NVOS, um I don't know with NVOS simply because I don't see another level other than the fact that once this 4 hour breaks. Yeah. So here it is. Yeah, so this gap down on the day chart tells me that the sentiment for NVOS has changed. I don't know what it is, but isn't it coincidental? Is it coincidental or is it like true TA that I always tell you moving averages act as magnets or they push you away? Look what happened on the day chart. The 20 caught it, but is the 20 going to be strong enough to support price at this point? I don't think so because look at my harmonic pattern indicator. Oversold. So basically this trend from here up to here needs to come back down to close the loop. Now look at the price movement. Here to here. Tell me if this doesn't mirror what you're seeing between price and oscillators, right? It needs to come all the way back down in order to close this loop. There's a beginning and there's an ending. And NVOS had a beginning on this wave, peaked at top, now it needs to come back down to reset the cycle again. Okay, so for NVOS, I don't have good news. I just have news that the sentiment has changed now that price broke below the 8. So if you bought in down in this area before the price gapped up, you're in the green. But you have to ask yourself right now, how much longer are you going to be in the green? If if it forked on you today, knifed on you today, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow? Price will be magnetized towards the 50 moving average, and that's going to be 22 cents. Not a price prediction. I'm literally just saying how price could move relative to moving averages. So the 50 is most definitely going to be strong enough to provide the support that NVOS needs to sustain itself versus falling down to the 200-day moving average. That being said, there was this there was this there was this pattern right here that it blew through. Remember, price target 2 was 13 cents, but no, it got pumped all the way up to in this zone area. So just be really careful. I would definitely, I always think of 3 bar breakdown or 3 bar breakup. All right, so this is bar 1 today, bar 2 possibly tomorrow of Monday, and then there could be a third bar that will bring it down to the 200-day moving average. Now, if I were to draw this out, hang on, let me make that red. If I were to draw this out, I will bet you dollars to oranges that this is going to look or formulate very close to what a harmonic pattern would look like. Give me a second. All right. Yeah. So, anyways, all right. Here we go. This would look. Hang on. I got a couple more to delete to clear this up. Hold on a second, guys. This is one of those times where I'll clean up the chart just because it's very close to pattern completion. Okay, so got down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so let's see, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 8. So as you can see here, remember I always say 5 to A is like one of those, oh my God, I'm gonna die, right? So that's 5. I'm drawing this out in real time so that you guys can start to understand how my mind think, and as we discuss charts moving forward, it helps you to understand how I think as well. So if you don't agree with it, you can drop me a comment, or if you don't understand it, drop a comment and I can explain it to you. But this is how the market structure works. There these are street signs. To me, I look at these as street signs. It's very difficult to get away from the way the market works. Okay, so I'm gonna do this quicker. 3, so this is 2. Okay, so this is why NVOS is where it's at today, because it's getting ready to do what Finger did earlier in the week. So that's 2. Okay, I think, oh, that's 1. Sorry, 1. Hold on. I'm getting there. Be patient with me, guys. It's Friday. My mouth is hurting. I'm here talking, yakking away with you guys. All right, so, okay, so that's the pattern. So what's next, right? Once it's finished with, wow, that's a pretty deep retracement. Might not be that low, guys. I don't know. I have to wait and see. Yeah, that's a pretty deep retracement. Yeah. All right, so A, and then guess what? So now that the pattern is complete from this side over, the retracement starts. The retracement from 5, A, B, and C is going to be lower. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be lower, is my prediction for NVOS. Okay, regardless of what the pumpers tell you, you cannot defy the market structure and how it's moving. Just look at Viri. Same thing here. All right, I called out Viri in the 70 cents a while back. Does this chart not look exactly like what NVOS, and being both a biofarm? I mean, look at that. Does that not, and look at where the 200 is. Does that not look like NVOS? I mean, if you disagree with me, you just need to leave the community right now. This hasn't even, Lake 5 to A hasn't even happened yet, but in my mind, I'm already connecting the dots that it will happen. Why? Because I've looked at a ton of charts and they all print the same over and over and over. 5 to A. Look at 5 to A. Look how deep that retracement is. Right? So either you agree with what I'm saying or you don't. Because it's this is not subjective. This is extremely objective in terms of what the TA is telling me. Hope that helps with MVOS. I know I put in some other stocks, but it's really important to show you how they all work together. Okay, so BTTR. What was your question on BTTR? If it's going to regain traction? Yam, am I? Is this right? BTTR. Okay, BTTR. Okay, not BTR. Okay. No, no, no. It's not going to regain retraction because look, the sentiment has already changed. This is the best you can get right now. So it tried to have this natural spring reaction. It's gone beyond the 30-day period from the termination of this bullish deep crab pattern. By deep crab, what that means is it's an extremely deep retracement from leg B to C here. Okay, so that retracement was pretty much between 2.6 and 3.618 right here. That is just, I mean, that's a, oh my God. That's like if you bought up here at 40 cents and the price is now 16 cents, you just almost 2.5x weight down on your loss. That's what a deep crab means. The crab pattern is formulated based on certain precise movement, and how far the last leg is, C to D, help determines whether it's a deep crab or just a crab pattern. That's how you differentiate the two patterns. So now you know based on this that they really did not like BTTR. They really wanted to crush this stock. Unfortunately, it did break up. If you swung this from like 12 cents and you sold at 24 cents, congratulations, you made good money. Hold on a second, I got a text. Okay, all right. So now, but if you chase this stock up, you're pretty much hosed. And again, not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. Educational purposes only. So anyways, the next support level is probably going to be your 200, your 20, which is at 13 cents. So you're almost there. It's down almost 30% today, guys. 30%. Remember, I tell you, price moves in either 5 to 10%. After that, it's going to jump to about 20 to 30, 30 to 35%. If you caught this wave, I mean, seriously, brother, if you caught this wave at 12 cents and it's up at at 24 cents and you're up 100% and you're sitting there going, I want it to go up another 100%. Let's go, BTTR. I would then call you greedy. I'm sorry, but you're greedy. You deserve to lose your money. Or if you looked at this and you saw that it gapped up and you're like, I'm buying in at 21 cents, it's going to go to the moon. Chances are you do not understand market structure. What goes up must come down. What goes up really fast must come down. Go out and throw a baseball up into the air and see how quickly the ball comes down. Whereas, let's say there's like a 6-story building. You throw the ball up to one of your friends in the first story. He catches it and he throws it up, and then the next guy catches it. Each level is supported by fundamental support. In this case, when you threw the ball up, this is all air. It's gonna come. Obviously, it's gonna come down to fill the gap. So to answer your question, I don't think it's going to gain retraction again. Whatever caused this to pump up was a pump and dump situation. Okay, it's a pump and dump situation. So I truly hope that you made out okay on this trade. Okay, what's next? TTOO. I hate this stock. Do we have to do this? I called out this stock a while back. Trade. Ooh, 88, 86 million share traded. Price target. Yeah. So here we go. Yeah. So I T8 this. I called this out that price. Yeah. So here it is. Let me refresh my memory here. So when this was being pumped by a few YouTube influencers going to the moon. No, it's not. No, it's not. When it was up here in the 40, 50 cent price range, and they're like, TTO, let's go to the moon. Let's go, let's go. I'm like, no, it's not. And I was calling out price target 1 and 2. Look, came down, touched price target 2, consolidated for a while. And then my price target 1 consolidated. It got delayed. So what happened is they slowed down the algorithm, pumped the stock up again. Does this not remind you of what FNGR is doing? Drop the price, pump it back up, and then look what they're doing next. They pump the price up. Let me add this so that okay. All right, they pumped the price up, gapped it up, and then slowly gave you a painful death down to where? Price target 2, right? So everyone's calling me a shill or paid shill on finger. Remember, I still have a price target 2 down here for finger at 367 that I'm waiting for it to hit and it become a really nice opportunity. Now look at TTOO. Where's TTO at? TTO's clock is a little bit further along than FNGR in a sense that they pumped it up similar to the dump. So this was a dump, pump, and now the dump. And so if you got to watch volume, right? My thinking is, let me bring in the oscillators now. Okay, so yeah, they're not done mucking around with TTO yet. You're going to be here for a while if you enter TTO right now. They're not done with TTO. Finger is not a setup what I want to be bullish on. Oh, are you short in FNGR? Short or quick call? We'll talk about that in a second. Let me finish my rant with TTOO here. Yeah. So look at this because it's they're not done with TTOO yet, simply because everything needs to come down into the oversold area and close out this cycle. Same down here, right? So right now it's just trending along. They're just they're just literally baiting you along until they come in for the kill on TTOO. But nonetheless, whoever brought up TTOO, I'm really glad you did, because I now see that my price prediction on TTOO came to fruition at 20 cents. So yeah, like I said, influencers that don't do TA, you should run as far in the opposite direction as possible. And I know who pumped this stock. It was like one or two person that pumped this stock. Very strong and loud personality. And I warned everyone back when it was in the 40, 50 cents, even down to 30. Once it nailed 29.8 at price target 1, I was still saying that be careful with 20 because it's going to come back down. And look what happened. Came back down. They drove it down lower by a whole lot lower, by, let's see how many percentage. They drove it all the way down by another, holy heck, 30% lower. I mean, yeah, 27% lower. And now it's sitting right here. I would not touch TTOO with a 10-foot pole. I would not touch TTOO with a 10-foot pole. Please delete that comment. No names, please. Yeah, guys, do me a favor. Please do not call out anyone by name. Please, please. For my safety, please delete your, or I will delete it for you. Please do not call anyone out by name just because yeah, I just delete it. My safety, because I'm out here with you guys. My face is out here. My name is out here. I'm only here for TA. I will call pumpers out as a whole because they could be anyone from market makers to hedge funds to algorithm to, you know, whoever, retail. As a whole, it's fine, but please do not single anyone out, okay, for my safety, because I'm out here with you guys. I'm putting myself out, okay? All right, thank you so much for that. So that's TTOO. What did we want to do next? All right, FNGR. So, in case you guys hadn't noticed, FNGR had this massive knife for that report that came out, which I'm hearing secondhand information on. Um, in theory, that report that came out was a huge disservice to everyone. If you were bull and you were up here buying in at 6 something, it did you a disservice. If you are like me sitting there going, yeah, I want this day to do this day to go down this low, this day to go down this low, and by Friday hit price target 3.67, $3.67, you're screwed. Because what happened then is this massive sell-off of 4.68 million shares caused an immediate spike back up. Spike back up. Okay. And so now I have this arrow drawn out. So now I got to wait for it to come back up and test this range again at 692 in order for this to come back down below the 50, test into the oversold to close this out before we can close out the entire cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, 5 A, B, C down in order to start over again. Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? So this is a 3-bar breakout. So you're going to see probably a gap up on Monday. I'm betting that there's going to be a gap up on Monday. Right here. There's going to be a gap up on Monday. Price is going to get tested right above here maybe. And then once it starts to drop back down, what you're going to see is point B, A to B, solidifies. So right now it's still a moving target. So it's still not finalized. Once that happens, then yeah, you can count on price coming back down to 367 to test the 200-day moving average. Just like Veri. When I called out Veri under $1, I was getting threats. I was getting hate emails on social and privately. But look where it ended up being. 75 cents low. No worries. TTG, that's fine. I know you probably didn't know. That gives me a really good segue to VIRI because VIRI, guys, it just finished its pattern. You know, I'm so happy to delete all these levels because here, look at this. Look how accurate this was. I drew out these 3-bar breakdown and look, 3-bar breakdown. Remember when I said when a doji is formed, whatever the price opens at the next day is the new trend. And look, price opened up above, but then quickly drove all the way down. Next day down, 3 day breakdown. I drew these out ahead of time, and look what happened. They basically came true. But now that point C is almost completed, and ABCD, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up and ABCD down, I can actually delete everything because we have a fresh start with Viri. Let's do this together. Let's delete everything together. Okay. And so now essentially track, we can essentially track Viri again. Because look, remember I was talking about the oscillators. Once the oscillator from top to bottom oversold, I'm sorry, overbought to oversold, overbought to oversold, and it popped out of oversold, I have double confirmation right here. I have double confirmation right here. Look at the price yesterday. Look at where it was in the oversold, and look at today where price popped out of the oversold. And especially when you have a V formation in the oversold area, as long as you don't have a W, the V formation is going to react pretty quickly. And look what happened today. You have a green day. You have a green day today. Oh, hold on, guys. You have a green day. So this tells me that the sentiment for Viri hit the bottom cycle, close. Let's see, close almost 20% below the 200-day moving average. So we will mark this as ground zero, okay, on 10/6, and watch how this cycle develops again for the next, let's see, how long did this cycle last? The first cycle. First cycle lasted, let's see, started in December 22, and it ended, I want to say it ended to yesterday. So, yeah, yeah, October 5th. That was the first cycle. In fact, I think I'm going to leave that up for when we go back to TA this. It's really good to have historical data just because you can look at how patterns work in the past. Um, so if you were going to ask me, hey, is Viri still bullish? It's below the 200-day moving average. I'm like, yeah, of course it's still bullish. Because look at where price started back here a year ago at 26 cents, and look where it's at today. It's up 4x at 81 cents. Now, what's going to happen when the time comes for NASDAQ to come in and say, hey, do you qualify to stick around to be one of our stock under NASDAQ? That question might be, we'll see. Yeah, Mike, is it 950? I haven't looked. I've been busy TAing some crappy stocks. Yes, AMC is also crappy, but let me look. Uh, it's not 950, bro. AMC's like, it's like 918. What time is it? Is the market closed? No. No. Market's not closed. No, no. It's not 950. It's 919. It's up 10%. Okay, all right, guys. Anything else? I mean, hey, Mike, did you catch my TA on AMC? How I kind of drew out this beautiful cup and handle? Let me know. Oh, AMC is like the crappiest piece of dung stock out there. Yes, it is. And I may be like the minority here, but the management is even worse. In fact, the management is what drove AMC into becoming a shitty stock. So yeah, that's on record me saying that. Okay, I mean I'm not gonna bash around um, the bush when it comes to management for AMC. I mean, just look at this piece of shit stock. Right when price was doing well and things were going looking good, all the shenanigan happened. I mean, who the hell decides to drop 40 million shares when your stock is on the verge of explosion. I mean, the hop is where the harmonic optimized pricing was at 270, and he fucking dropped like 40 million shares, and look what happened to AMC. It just, who does that? A greedy fuck does that. Okay? Yes, I dropped the F bomb. I digress. Give me a second. Let me drink my. So now AMC has to claw out of the depth of hell just to get back to $3.80 pre split. The depth of hell. If you think AMC's $9.20 right now, you can. It's 92 cents. Yeah, I know it's the next one down, Mike. I know. I know it's this gap down. I got cross-eyed there for a second. But nonetheless, right? The reverse split, you know, yeah, when there's a reverse split, things are going to go great. Bullshit. 40 million shares. Bullshit. Come on, guys. I mean, if you're his wanker, you shouldn't be on tip line because that's how I feel. Okay? AMC should not be in the sub penny stock. Makes no sense. I mean, how many of us have lost money on this piece of shit stock when it was up here in the $40 range? Same thing. More shares were dropped in this range. It was uncalled for. Every time AMC was about to run, management dropped shares. I mean, just go back and look at the history of AMC. Anyways, I'm done ranting about this stock. Yes, to answer your question, who was it that asked if AMC is a piece of crap stock? Yes. Short answer is yes, it is a piece of crap stock. You should not financial advice, okay? But you should be extremely concerned when it comes to AMC running because at any given moment, more shares are going to get dropped. Okay. Anyways, you can unsubscribe me if you want, but that is exactly how I feel. But that being said, I am still bullish on the stock in a sense that I have a pattern to work off of. This pattern on the left here, because the stock market has that has a memory of an elephant, a lifetime of memories. It's not going to forget that AMC should have ran here when it was $2 and change, but due to external factors, it crashed. So eventually, it needs to normalize and come back up. Otherwise, the foundation of what I believe in harmonic patterns is out the window. MVOS, yeah. Thanks for the segue. MVOS. I mean, it's not done. I mean, you gotta look at these swing high, swing lows as opportunities, right? So if you're a bear and you saw this massive gap down, you're thinking, "Oh yes." Not financial advice, but does that mean that it's an opportunity for me to buy puts when I know like 5 to A will drive price down to at least the 50-day moving average, which is at 22 cents, right? So you need to start understanding both sides of the trade, bears and bulls. That's why they exist. It's like yin and yang, good and evil. Which side do you want to be on? For me, I want to be on the winning side. I don't care which side it is. I want to be on the winning side. You can have a bias trading side if you want, but I want to be on the winning side. I mean, just I mean, if you look at FNGR and you were on the put side, the bear side, and thinking, yeah, by Friday it's going to hit this level, and then in one day you made 36% in one day versus waiting for a week. You're like, thank you for the gift. I'm out. Now you sit and you watch, right? If you're greedy as a bear, bears and bulls are both greedy fucks. Okay, they're both greedy. So in this case, if you were a greedy bear, you would have lost your shit because, oh man, okay, I tone it down. It's a family show. I know. You would have lost because of this retracement. And I called this retracement out the morning of. Okay, so had you not taken profit from here to here, you would have lost a lot of money, or you would have lost a lot of your gains from up here. You would still be green. So just you gotta flip your mind around in terms of bears and bulls, right? If you're and you have to know the swing high and swing low. All right. Anything else, guys? Anything else? Anything else? Was there anything else I missed? AV text a few weeks ago and stated that it will test the 50 confounds. Is that still valid? AVTX. Let me look. Mm, what exactly did I say about AVTX? You did on AVTX a few weeks ago and it stated that it will test the 50 EMA at 14 and will bounce to 26. Is that still app? Oh my god! Did I say it would test the 50 EMA? Hey, Nim, I'll I'll PayPal you the money, brother. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, did I call this when it was up here? Yes, I did, didn't I? And I said it would come back down and test the 1450 range. Okay, so I'm glad you brought this up. This is a really good moment, learning moment, and I really appreciate you bringing this up. And and yes, I did call this out at 14 cents. Wow, that's pretty accurate, huh? Okay, let me clear the charts, guys. Now that those price targets have been met, let's look at this from a fresh perspective without anything on the chart. Okay, so I need to bring up the oscillator as well too. Um, Hold on, give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay, first off, AVTX is printing an inside bar, and the closing price is first of all, it's kind of a doji-ish. Open is 14.3, close is 14.1. So this is very much a doji, inside bar doji. To answer your question, Gim, requires you to be patient until tomorrow. Because if, remember my doji rule, right? If price opens above or below the next day, that and trades in that direction, that is the new trending. So I'm going to turn this green and I'm going to turn this red. Okay, so whatever happens on Monday will determine the new direction because the market right now is indecisive on what happens next with AVTX. So Bollinger Bands don't tell you high or lows. Technically, I don't use them because they're shit. Um, they only tell you, in a way, Mike, the direction that it's going. But to me, it's basically taking a shotgun versus a pistol or a long range, if that helps. So it's kind of like throwing shit on the wall and see what sticks is the way Bollinger Bands work. The way moving averages and harmonic patterns work together in conjunction with price allows, I mean, you just saw Nim said that I predicted AVTX to drop to 14 cents to test the 50 SMA. That was like weeks ago, and I didn't remember saying that, but it came true, right? So Bollinger Bands is a study that tells you certain information, but it's not something that I would ever rely on, ever. I would use it as more of a confluence to my primary studies that I'm using for charting. Um, I do throw it on every now and then, but all they do is just make the chart look busier. I mean, as you can see here with my chart, it's already, I have so much crap already here. And at the end of the day, I boil my chart down to the yellow line, which is the 3 MA, the green line. The most important line on here is the green line, which is the 8 EMA. Because anytime I'm trading a stock, whether it's on a 5 minute chart, a 10 minute chart, a 1 day chart, if price closes, the first time price closes below the 8, it tells me that I need to sit up. It's like a caution sign on the road. The green line is basically a caution sign that says there's potential danger ahead. And then so the next one is the 20 SMA. That's the 20 moving average. The blue line is the 50, and then you have your 200. A lot of times, if you're looking at the 1 day chart, the one the 200 almost coincide with the 50 SMA on the 4 hour chart. So watch, I'll demonstrate this, okay? Um, the 50 on the 1 hour is like 13. If you go to the 4 hour, look at where the 200 is. It's very close to the 50, the price. So I'm gonna mark this, and I'm gonna look at the 1 day and look how close they are to each other. So it's being able to understand how the moving averages are relative to price as you move along in the time chart. Okay. Um, I know Bollinger is good. I know a lot of people use it, but I personally don't. I want to stick. The reason I push hard on these moving averages is you want to use indicators that the majority of traders are looking at. You want to use indicators that majority of the algos are looking at, are using. You want to stick with those because they are making trading decisions based off of those extremely proven popular moving averages or trading studies, right? You don't want to go off and use something that not a lot of people use. And with the exception for me is I use harmonic patterns. And because not a lot of people use harmonic patterns, gives me an advantage to be able to precisely pinpoint price targets. Because people don't understand harmonics. They think it's voodoo. But for me, when I look at price targets based on precise price movement, you get these levels. You get these levels. I mean, if you drove down to 1 hour on AMC, you have patterns and you have price targets. And for the most part, they will get nailed. Look at this, right? Look at this. Price target. This is a 1 hour chart for AMC. Terminated at 912. Price target 1 at 807. And look what happened at 807. Price literally stopped in its track at price target 1, 807, and consolidated. And then moving forward, look what happened at price target 2. Price target 2 was nailed a couple of times here along the path. So these price target 1 and 2, they are not random. They're not something I pulled out of my behind and said, Here they are, price target 1 and 2. They were formulated, calculated based on a very long trend that took place, in this case, on the 1 hour chart. This trend, this pattern, this shark pattern it went from September 7th, 23 all the way to September 13th, 23 to formulate this trend. And then it took that much longer for the algorithm to digest the price movement for AMC to realize it, because it needs to make money along the way. That's the understanding of how algorithms work. Is once the levels are set, it's like playing poker, and if you immediately identify the tails of your opponent, you can then call them out on those, especially when it comes to high stake poker. It's the same thing with trading. As soon as you determine the price targets, you just sit back and relax and wait for the right opportunity to execute your trade, whether you're long or short, bears or bulls. So it takes the stress out of trading. It takes the stress out of trading when you understand these levels. All right, that's enough of me preaching. Yeah, I know. I'm the automotive. Hey, TTG, I'm gonna be going to an event called BMW Test Fest in first week of November. And so what it is BMW Group brand will bring all their cars, BMW, Mini, Rolls Royce, you name it. They bring all their cars under one place, and I have 2 days to drive anything I want. It's going to be fantastic. So look forward to that. I'll send you more details as it gets closer. Guys, anything else? Any other questions before I sign off? I think I might have pissed off a lot of people today, with my rants, but you guys know I'm not here to please anyone. I'm here to give you the best information possible. All right. Anything else? Going once? Going twice? Going twice again? All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Okay. I'm out.